So it's New Comic Book Day. It's kind of late, but I had to watch What If and give a non-spoiler review. That plus New Comic Book Day, so much. Stick around. Welcome back, family. Thank you so much for joining again. It is Wednesday. Today is the 11th of October. August. I don't even know what month it is. I'm sorry. Too many hours at work and you start to lose track of time. Plus, when you get older, you don't even know why you went into a room anymore. But anyway, it is New Comic Book Day. It is not Free Comic Book Day, which I thought it was, but that's Saturday, and I will be there for that. As well as the Atlanta Comic Convention at the Marriott on Sunday. This is such a chock-full week. It was already so much, and then they had to throw What If into this. So I will be giving a non-spoiler review of that. So in the interest of trying to keep everything moving along here, let's go through what I had as my pick list. I only actually had 2 books for my pick list, and let's get them both ready. They were both a cover A and cover B of a 7-part series from DC, and we were looking at Pennyworth. Alfred Pennyworth, sorry. I'm still doing bad with that right-left type of thing. I'm sorry. So, cover A, cover B of number 1, kind of like the origin of Alfred. And I'm intrigued to read that because that's a character that, even though he's been around from the beginning, you know there's always so much more to him than... we've always focused on Batman. We've never focused on the ancillary characters, and that's something that's really cool to look into. Those are the only 2 that I had for my pick list, and I'm sorry I'm not wearing my Syndicate Comics shirt today. It's just that today, being the first episode of What If, I had to throw on my Falcon and Winter Soldier shirt. And the other books I picked up off the wall. When I go down through my pick list, I do the Boom Studios, Image, IDW, Dynamite, Marvel, DC, of course. I don't get to some of the other brands. And thankfully, my LCS picks up those books that I would normally miss. And so we have Absolute Comics Group Resilient number 1. And I'm just a big fan of picking up those number 1s because, you know, again, they 9 out of 10 turn into nothing. But that 1 out of 10... is where you have a lot of fun. So we'll see where that goes. I did pick up a copy of Never Never number 2. For those of you not familiar with this book, this is a darker version, I guess you'd say, of The Land of Neverland with Peter Pan. And I'm pretty sure this comes out from the same company that puts out Heavy Metal. And number 1, I bought a few copies of, and it's already doing pretty well. We'll see where that goes. The Nice House on the Lake, 3rd printing, and the only reason, honestly, that I picked this up is because I missed all the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 12th, 19,000th printings of Something is Killing the Children, and this series kind of reminds me of it, so I just wanted to pick up 1 copy of each of the printings so I can at least say that I have them. Let's see what else. Black Box Comics number 1, Djinn Hunters, and I'm actually very proud of the fact that I know how to pronounce D-J-I-N-N, which is Jean. The D is pretty much silent in that. I have no idea about that, but a comic book company that I'm not overly familiar with in a number 1, this is where you either, you know, make your great investments, or they become your dollar box fillers. And since it was $3.99, I'm like, okay, so I could lose the $2, $3, whichever, in the long run, or possibly turn it into something. And Batman 89, number 1. For those that are not familiar, the Tim Burton movie did come out in 1989, so I could see by the background with all the black buildings and everything that this is definitely something related to the Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson Batman, and I've always been a fan of that. I think that movie really laid the groundwork for even today's MCU, in the fact that if you take the time and do it right, that a superhero movie can be done right. Not to take away from the 1978 Superman movie, which really kind of set the standard. Okay, but the Batman movie proved that the Superman movie was not a one-hit wonder, a fluke. That it can be done. So, sorry, a little bit of soda. While I'm at it, I want to point out two other books that I picked up lately. They are both first prints of MetaZoo #1. Now, honestly, I don't know much about this book. This is another one of those card games, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon or whatnot. And this one supposedly breaks the fourth wall a little bit more than any of the ones in the past. And this one has really, really, really taken off as far as interest and seems to be growing exponentially. Now, the first print, this box up here is in green, and the second print, it is in dark blue or purple. I'm not sure which. The first print, just so everybody knows to keep their eye out for it, is sealed in a poly bag with a foil or holographic type of sticker, and it is limited to 1,000 copies. So, I'm sorry, I have two of them. I would if you happen to see any of these, the going price currently on August 11th is, I don't know what the actual price is because eBay has cracked down on the ability to look at what the best offer currently was, but I saw best offer, buy it now or best offer at $299 and best offer accepted, whether that was $298 or $12. I have no idea. So just so you know that there is a lot of growing interest in this. Keep an eye out if you can for any of the MetaZoos with the green box. This is the first printing, preferably in the poly bag with the sticker still showing that it is sealed. Okay, so there's my little alert for you guys. Hopefully it'll turn into something, maybe something in 3 years, 4 years that we look back and say, wow, I'm glad I got that for $100 or $150 because now it's worth $1,000. And hopefully it's not, I bought that for $100 because now it's worth $5. All right, so getting over to the second half here, we've got, I did watch What If #1. Matter of fact, I was at work. It was a little after 6 o'clock. And all of a sudden it just dawned on me, like, why am I still here? I've got to go home and watch What If. And of course, everybody at work is like, excuse me? What the heck is What If? So I'm like, if you were a geek like me, you would understand. Okay, so I have to make sure that this is spoiler free. For anybody that has not even bothered to watch the trailers or anything and had no knowledge of anything coming up in What If, I would recommend turning off at this point. If you've watched at least the trailers of it, I'm not going to try to go anything beyond that. And just general knowledge. Okay, so you've been pre-warned. I thought the first episode was going to be the Tony Stark one with Killmonger, and it wasn't. And it reminded me, I knew this way in advance that I forgot, that the first one was What If Peggy Carter became Captain America. Now, I watched Everything Always, and he was able to watch the first 3 episodes, and he said that the first episode kind of played like a pilot episode were, and then afterwards the episodes got even better. Okay, my review. If they get no better than they were today, I love it. Okay, I love WandaVision. The first 3 episodes drove me crazy. I loved Loki. The first 4 episodes were kind of boring. The last 2 really got me in. Captain and Winter Soldier, I thought nailed me from the beginning. This reminds me of Captain and Winter Soldier. I like it from the very beginning. The points that I've heard was that everything that happens in What If is going to be canon going forward. And for anybody that doesn't really understand what that means is if you see it in the show, it's part of the MCU. So even the what ifs will be part of what's going on. And if you think about the multiverse of madness coming up, every universe has a different reality, then it's opening the doors for anything in the multiverse of crossing over. This could cross over. And this is exciting. This is really exciting. And I think this is going to be so much weaving going forward. We saw the first 3 stages of the MCU. And we were really loved the way that everything, even the smallest details, came together. And we admired them for that. I think they're going for broke on this one. I think they're really going to start to mesh almost on a three-dimensional scale, that we're going to be picking apart every single little detail for every movie going forward and admiring for all the silly little things that we didn't realize. I'm so excited about this. I can't even put it into words. So, a little can of Fresca here, sorry. My review of the first show. The first show, I would give it a solid 8. They had a lot of little references to the first Captain America, the First Avenger, and all the things that made Steve Rogers and Peggy Carter the characters that they were. It drove a little bit towards the... Okay, now I'm going to get a little political here, and I apologize. So if I offend anybody here, I do apologize. It's just, they're my beliefs, and this is what I believe in. I have never been a big fan of Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, the way that they portray the character is, I kick butt because I'm a woman. And I don't feel that second half of that statement needs to be said. Okay, Scarlet Witch, okay, Wanda, Maximoff is I kick butt. Period. End of conversation. I have always loved Wanda. When I played even like Marvel Contest of Champions on my phone, my first person that I always put in, I always loved Wanda. She's always been my favorite character. Okay, and when I talk about Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War and Endgame, I'm one of those big fans that says, yeah, Captain Marvel did this, that. It was Wanda that was the strongest one. Okay, even in Infinity War, before she had full understanding of what her powers were, she's using one hand to destroy an Infinity Stone, while the other hand is holding back a 5-stoned Thanos. Come on. The girl is multitasking, and at no point does she have that, because I'm a woman is why I'm doing it. It's as I'm kicking butt because I can kick butt. Period. Gender means nothing. Okay? And to overemphasize and say, I'm doing it because I'm a man. I'm doing it because I'm a woman. You know what? I'm just doing it because I can do it. It's always been my big fan. And there's been little touches in the Peggy Carter What If episode, very little bit, that has that, they kind of put her on the defensive because I'm a woman. But I have to remember the time frame back in the 1940s. It's not the same as we are in the 2020s, 80 years later. So I kind of understand it, and I kind of respect it, and they don't ram it down your throat, which I really appreciated. They had little nuances to the episodes, to the movies and everything else that I really did appreciate. I felt that it was rushed, because it was, I think, 33 minutes, including the credits, which knocks it down to, 27 minutes, because you've got 6 minutes of credits. And the only real thing that I didn't like was, I was cool with whoever did Chris Evans' voice, because we know that Chris Evans and Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. are not reprising their actual voices. I was good whoever did Chris Evans' voice. I did not like who did the Watchers. When I think of the Watcher, whenever I read the Watcher in the What If comics, it's always in my head. I always heard it as this being who's been here throughout time, who does not need to rush because I have infinity to say what I have to say. And in the show, it was, I am the Watcher, and I do this. I'm like, whoa, slow down. This is a being that watches for infinity. He doesn't need to say a sentence in a certain time frame. It just felt wrong to me. And I'm proud. I know I'm not probably nitpicking. I am definitely nitpicking here. I'm sorry. I do, though. I really love the show. And if this is what people consider to be a pilot episode and the warm-up, I'm so excited for the next episodes. I can't even put it into words. If they stay this level for the other 9, I'm happy. I'm satisfied. I'm having fun with this. I love what Disney is doing with I had, what was it, 1 week off or 2 weeks off since the end of Loki, and I felt like I was going through withdrawal. I mean, I love watching Netflix for like Lucifer, but they drop the whole season in one shot. And what happens? I wind up binge watching the whole season and calling out sick the next day. Here it is. I know every Wednesday I got an MCU, and every Friday I got a Bad Batch. Well, one more anyway. You're not watching Bad Batch. You got to watch Bad Batch. But this is like, I'm in the middle of doing something at work, and I'm like, oh, wait, today's Wednesday. Oh, wait, what's coming out today? It's almost like going back to when I was a kid, when you knew there was a new episode of a certain show coming out, and and you rushed home, and it became a family thing to watch it again, and I love it. Okay, I feel like a kid again watching these shows. And I read What If when it first came out. I mean, the first issue, What If Spider-Man Joined the Fantastic Four, back in 1975. I was actually not collecting in 75, but I do remember reading that issue. My favorite one of What If was What If Wolverine had killed the Hulk. Now, one of the things, if you read the What Ifs growing up, you saw that the What Ifs usually ended up in tragedy. Very rarely did they end up better than what you had read in the comic books originally. So you almost had this sense of, oh, well, thank God that didn't happen. The What If episode here that I just watched, it didn't have that thank God that didn't happen attitude, but it didn't feel like, well, that would have been better. Okay? I don't want to give anything away. Get Disney Plus if you don't have it. Watch What If. Again, I'm going to go through so you have my ideas. WandaVision, on a scale of 1 to 10, is a 9. Deserves all of its Emmy nominations. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm going to call it Captain America and the Winter Soldier. He's earned it. Start to finish, amazing. I loved that series. I mean, it pulled at my heartstrings. It made me cheer. It made me feel like I was watching Lethal Weapon at one point, and something that was, Oscar worthy. As far as it was great. It was great. I can't. Loki, I was thoroughly disappointed in because I put it on such a high pedestal. Okay, so it's not Loki's fault. Everybody was that when they announced all the shows. Loki was the one that we were all like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch that one. Yeah, the other two were cool, but Loki, oh my God. The first 4 episodes felt they were I thought they were dealing with budget constraints for special effects and storyline. It painted Loki as kind of a dimwit. I didn't like that. He's the god of mischief. He's been around 1,500 years tricking people. He's got to be smarter than that. The last 2 episodes, I feel, were redemption for the first 4. I love the last 2 episodes, and I love where this series can go in the future. So, all things encompassed, I love everything that is showing up on Disney Plus for the TV series. As far as What If being animated, I was a little worried about that at first. I don't mind it at all. Do not mind it at all. I actually kind of enjoy it. It's kind of fun because it's kind of comic bookish, and that's what we started with in the first place, guys. So, I'm rambling on long enough here. Just a reminder here that if you have not watched the 500 subscriber video, you need to get yourself over there. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Make sure that you watch the 500 subscriber video, you click like on that, and you leave a comment. These are the 3 criteria. Make sure that it is a clean comment, please. No political stuff. We try to have fun here. It's comic books. And when I hit 500 subscribers, which as you can see I'm very close, I'm going to be giving away that book right there, which is a Donny Cates and Stegman signed Venom Annual #1 in a 9.8 white page. Come on, I'm giving it away for free. All you have to do is just win it. And it's simple. So other than that, though, I'm glad everybody had a wonderful Wednesday. I can't wait for Saturday for the free comic book day. I can't wait for Sunday for the show. Atlanta Comic Convention at the Marriott. If you happen to be there, $5 admission, free parking. How can you go wrong? Put some more money in your pocket so you can buy comic books. I've got to go get some sleep because it's the middle of the week. It's Wednesday. I got to go to work tomorrow. Horrible. I'm just having so much fun because it's What If Day, and it's the first of 10 episodes, and it's really great. Help me give away that book. But until such time as I do, though, as always, I'm out.